Okay, everybody, we're getting started. I know to most artists, this is probably a messy situation. Folded wallet. Yes, I understand. But hey, I'm just living life, baby. You know, I'm not trying to be perfect. I mean, I just started this YouTube channel. And I should make multiple channels, like one for art, one for podcast, one for, just what I like, my thoughts. But I just did a whole mix, which people will not like, but it's okay. But mostly it's been art. It's one ASMR. But yeah, I was reading The Devil's Chessboard. The Devil's Chessboard right here. It's Alan Dulles book, CIA director. And we got that's pretty aggressive. Sorry about that. I had my page where I could put all my portraits. This is such a beautiful gift. I got this on my birthday on May 6th. Yes, I am a Taurus, baby. See, look, this is amazing. My girlfriend bought it because I did tell her I was going to do photography. But I don't have all that money to start that venture. Either way, I'm making shirts, cups, mugs, hats, socks, and mostly shirts, logos, design, trying to start a clothing company. But before my photography, but either way, this is just beautiful. You could just flip it around and use it for drawing instead of photography, and show people your designs. And but yes, this, if I could rate it, this is just hair. If I could rate it truly as an artist, I suppose I would give it a 6.4 in terms of realistic. Yes, I said 6.4. Considering 8 is already just, ridiculously realistic, and 10, absolutely perfect. But yeah, so this, take it out. And yes, this isn't going to be a perfect art YouTube channel. So, I'm doing it very unorganized because, hey, guess what? Unorganized is real. I'm sorry to tell you, but that's what it is. That's realism right there. Being not perfect is real. So you can draw with me and color with me. I'm not the greatest. I've been drawing, so let's get into the conversation. I've been drawing since I was young. When I was a kid, they used to say my grandpa would color, which I thought was kind of odd. Not odd, but would do that on his downtime, and he worked. He was like not a truck driver, but he drove like a Class B truck, chemical truck. And even before that, he worked hard. He built my grandparents' house. They bought a decent plot of land, and he built a house with his bare hands. They lived in one place of the town, and with all the kids, there's 3 kids, 2 brothers and 1 sister, and one of the brothers was my dad. So anyway, that happened in the 80s, I believe. Late 80s and then early 90s. I was born in 94. Yeah, every time he would get paid, he would buy materials and go to that land he bought and build on it with him and some of his buddies. And little by little, he made a plot of land and became, its own family man. You know what I mean? And so that took me by surprise that they said he would color on his downtime. And, my mom would try and get me to color here and there, but honestly, that was just the beginning of it. I really wouldn't even say that's when I started to fall in love with it, because coloring was cool. It was kind of boring to me, but I liked the shading of it. I loved doing dark outlines, kind of like you're drawing, and then you're just... I've been doing that since I was a kid, so that's what got me into drawing. I was the same. What I try to do with the color, I would outline dark on the lines of the coloring book, and then I would color very lightly inside and make it look as beautiful as I possibly can. So that started my love for drawing, because I realized it was almost the same in terms of that technique. And so I started drawing, and I loved it. I started doing portraits. I did a portrait of Marilyn Monroe, and sadly I gave it to my cousin Alexandra. I wouldn't even say sadly. I gave it to her. You like that, baby? I gave it to her, and she was happy, and that made me happy. But yeah, and sadly, after high school, I went and did welding. Didn't graduate because I was so in love with my girlfriend at the time. I was, basically my first girlfriend. My first real girlfriend. I loved her to pieces. Lost my virginity to her in like the first week. Yes, I know. I would say sorry, but I'm not. She was very aggressive with it. Followed her lead. But anyway, she was a grade below me. And then I guess she was with when we got together, and that whole week it was just puppy love. Losing my virginity the seventh day. I will always remember it was the seventh day I lost my virginity with her. And it was on a Friday, and I was born on a Friday. That's very odd. But anyway, and then that Monday when I went back to school, she was walking with her ex-boyfriend. Yeah. My stomach flew out of my freaking ass. It was insane. And I was so depressed. So depressed. And anyway, we had gotten back together, and because her friend kind of sold me on it, and she would always be her messenger, my ex's messenger, and I had a class with her, and she was like, you should really get back with her, and there was she actually wrote a love letter to me, literally wrote a love letter to me, saying, I couldn't imagine life without you, you were actually, I messed up, and her ex-boyfriend that she went back to, he was this skater guy, he had flippy hair, so honestly, I understood it, I didn't say, I don't know why you're doing this to me, I got it, You know, this is all very personal, I know. But I had no idea I was going to get this personal in the beginning of this video. But that's what makes realism, you know. This is some real stuff here. And yes, I will try not to cuss. I will. Because it really does make things not pleasant, you know what I mean? It truly does make things not pleasant. But yeah, this is just realism here. I'm getting better, so please, beginning artists and real artists who are on YouTube, please don't come at me. Please don't slander me. I copied this off another YouTuber. I went with him, you know. I looked at the video and did it. Because I'm good at sketch art. I'm good at looking at something and drawing it. Very good at it, actually. I got a lot of other stuff. Like that Jesus thing. I mean, I just looked at a picture and went off on it. I'm doing Medusa next. That Jesus one has... This is when me and my girlfriend were arguing the other day. That just came out of me. Those were chalk sticks. Yeah, this is a few weeks of work. And I love this eye. I love these eyes. I mean, they're just great. And I'm working on this nose here. Working on that. This is plastic still. But yeah, I was going to do it for my mom for Mother's Day. It just wasn't how I wanted it. It wasn't perfect. It just wasn't. I mean, I wanted to frame it, and I'm still going to. I'm going to frame this. Maybe make 2-3 copies, and give it to my mother, because she loves Jesus. She's very religious. But yeah. And, you know, I would say I apologize for getting too personal, but I kind of don't, you know. Like I'm saying, I don't know where this page is going to go. This is just real, but in a sense, what I'm trying to tell you is I've had a lot of dark things happen. I grew up with domestic violence, you know. My father used to always hit my mother. Used to have drunk and coked out benders. He would work so hard in the heat, you know, for 12 hours and go party with his brothers and uncle. He had very bad uncles that were just drunks, and you know the woman should be doing everything, and the blah blah blah, and then I mean, man, you know, so he kind of had bad role models, but it's still not, I do not give him that. I mean, I've forgiven him in a sense, but it's definitely shaped my mind, and, you know, it's really made me into the man I am today, which isn't that great. Like, I could have been so much better have I had, you know, personal guidance, you know, and a dad who was actually appreciative. And that's why I didn't do the high school football thing. I'm like, he just doesn't deserve this. And, you know, so I grew up a very scared person, and, you know, people in school respected me. You know, I was cool with everybody. Like, I could walk down the halls and I would slap hands in a respectful handshake with like 6 to like 8 people. And, you know, it was great. I was cool with everybody. And then when I was in art class, you know, the points I'm trying to get to, my art teacher, Miss Hodges, she would give me compliments. She would tell one of my best friends, like, you're a perfectionist, because he would get very upset. He was a perfectionist, and I wish he would have continued with art as well. But anyway, so that's where it started too. All it took was one woman to give me a compliment on what I'm doing. And, you know, some validation finally. And that's another thing that led me. And I made such an amazing senior project. You know, it was about like you going off into the world, and I made a world, and I made a hand on top of it, and it was painting the world. And there's an astronaut on the corner of it, and it was so detailed, so amazing, and it was a big, long sketchbook paper, and it got stolen. I don't know if it was my ex-girlfriend, but it got stolen. And and then I went to college for welding, and my girlfriend here in Monahans, it was only 35 minutes away where I was going to college. And I was just not prepared, man. I was not prepared. We were both jealous types. She would always think I was cheating, and I would always go back to Monahans, and I don't know, she would just destroy my mind and heart, and I just, I would always skip. And then it got to the point where I was skipping school to go and see her and be with her and spend the night at her house, and then it led to me dropping out, just so much absences. But that's what happens in life. And another point is, sometimes art is its best when you're suffering. Not always. We could have debates. That's fine. But when you have things happen to you and you're naturally into art, you're going to make some of the best things. I'm convinced that it goes for everybody. Like, the best people who are so damaged and have had things happen to them make the best art. I'm sorry, but it's true. It's just like stand-up comedy. The best stand-ups have had the worst lives, and they're willing to put in more effort than the guy who didn't have a lot of stuff happen to him and a lot of, trial and error and hurt. But, so this is my, personal video. I'm not done with this hair, I'm not done with this hair. This was just a personal, a draw with me video, and I didn't even draw a whole lot. I did some strands of hair, but that's fine. It's a little darker now, and gonna pop a little extra, and that's cool. So I will say thank you if you are tuning in. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. Keep drawing, keep practicing, keep learning, becoming a student of art and the arts, just anything, even cinema. Read. Knowledge is power. You don't even need to subscribe. It would be great if you did. But I'm just doing this for fun and, trying to get as relatable and realistic as I possibly can, you know what I mean? For people, struggling by being poor or, not having a lot of money but want to be in the arts, want to draw, and want to be out in the world, this is for you. This is a place to be. It's a place to get personal and a place to, let it out and talk. And I'm here for you. So I thank you. I appreciate you. All right. Goodbye.